Good afternoon, everybody. This is Eric Foster, Board Chairman of Cannabis Capital Holdings. I wanted to reach out because I've talked about in the past the Bank Black Initiative, and I wanted to put a little bit of context on what the Bank Black Initiative is and a little bit of our focus now as we look to bring our solution to help extend lending opportunities to cannabis related businesses, both those who are directly licensed and those who are ancillary licensed through white label and marketing agreements with licensed businesses. Because the need for access to capital is critical, and you're not going to get it out of any bills or legislation in DC. So let's kind of jump into it. So there are a couple states, Illinois and Maryland, who have started and implemented and adopted lending type program models. Those states, though, aren't working in terms of the ability to structure programs that, one, get to minority owned or social equity or small business licensees, and the ability to ensure that or minimize the what's called doubtful accounts, the people who aren't able to successfully maintain their business even with the lending. And so that's one problem. And the second problem is in those states and other states that are considering expanding or doing that, minority banks aren't able to partner or participate because the compliance part, the reporting that needs to be done based on the 2014 Department of Treasury Financial Crimes Network BSA guidelines for banking with marijuana related businesses, and the 2015 Federal Reserve and FDIC guidelines on depository relationships with minority related businesses require a level of compliance reporting. So basically, making sure that the reporting on the business that you're providing banking services to is a legitimate business and isn't Jack Leg Willie and his boys that you're doing business with is a burden for minority banks. And so we, through Simone Cason, our CEO, developed the Bank Black solution, an AI compliance lending model. And it's good AI. It's not like Elon's AI, which decided based on who was programming it that it was like, I'm good. I'm going to go full Mecha Hitler. I don't need y'all to feed me any more information. I got this. But if you create a good AI underwriting system that takes into account all of the things that someone who is a business of color, owners of color deal with in the totality of their life, you increase the likelihood that they can get lending. And you also want to increase the likelihood that those who have a good chance of making it work, and I can say this as a two-time failed business owner, who can make it work, get the funding to help them stay in business. Now, secondarily, you want to be able to create a system where minority banks can participate. And that's another part of the Bank Black solution, the compliance piece, which adds the streamlined system for being able to generate the reporting and documentation compliance and plugging into the state systems for making sure that the licensees are compliant with state laws so you can ease that cost of reporting. Now, we've had a number of meetings at Canis Capital with state and local officials around the country to talk about the program and how it can be of value. Now, the reality is what we're doing is something that's new. Cannabis related lending at a state level that's state backed or municipal backed is limited and new. It's like a baby. It's basically like a 3 month old. Now, unfortunately, a 3 month old is not going to be able to go to college and become a quantum engineer at 4 months old. So you need something to help seed the process to support the entities and the system so that you can grow it and raise it the right way. And so, as board chairman and the leader of our Bank Black initiative, we're reaching out and working to engage entities in the impact investing, the social justice and social capital and social economic restorative justice, diverse universes who want to see investments in African American owned or minority owned companies or solutions that can help minority owned companies be able to access capital and bridge the gaps to be able to become successful businesses. That's what we're doing now. We're in a full on campaign. You'll see through my social media platforms on LinkedIn and Blue Sky and Facebook. And I used to be on Twitter, but I had to get off Twitter because I don't suffer those fools there. But on Substack, on Medium, and on Threads, 'cause I'm on Threads and Instagram, as well as the Canis Capital sites, we're going to be pushing out a lot of information. And I'm doing direct outreach, calls, emails to entities that are in the investment fund community because we need you to come on board and work with us. We need your assistance, be it if it's groups like Blue Haven Initiative, Kresge Foundation, Calvert Impact, Bridge Fund Management, Blackbird, BlackRock, Ariel Investment, Harrington Investments. You know, we need your support. We need you to be willing to work with us to help support and get this off the ground. What we're looking for in this range is for you all to step up to kind of fill that role that we would hope that states would do, which is provide that backing like the SBA to support the lending that brings the banks to the table because they have someone that's got their back. If you're going to go into a fight, you want somebody that's going to have your back. You don't want somebody that's not. I remember my first ex-wife and I, one of the things that endeared her to me was I got into a fight with one of my frat brothers. Unfortunately, we had a falling out. But when my frat brother had backup to beat me up, she jumped in the fight to back me up. That meant a lot to me. And so it's the same thing in a world like this. You want backup. If you're going to create a lending ecosystem, you need backup. The banks want someone that's going to partner with them on the risk. They want systems that will help mitigate the compliance and manage and support it. But you also want something that's going to be the intermediary to ensure that African American, Chaldean, Arab, Native American, Asian American, Hispanic American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, and multiracial Americans all have an opportunity, and Jewish Americans all have an opportunity to be able to get access to capital and have the support that they need to be able to invest in their business and invest in the things that are going to help their business grow. So, to you all in this particular space, if you get an email from me, if you get a LinkedIn inbox message from me, if you get a phone call from me, please, hopefully, listen to the message, read the email, and respond back. Eric at caniscapital.com. We're looking for partnership because if we're going to change the environment for lending and access to capital for cannabis businesses with a focus on the social equity, the diverse, the minority, the justice impacted, but also can be open to all. This is the approach that's going to get us there. So please reach out to us, www.caniscapital.com, Eric at caniscapital.com, and to our different social media channels. We need your support. We want your partnership and we want your backup in this fight to help grow these businesses and grow this economic engine that has demonstrated a proof of a concept to be able to help increase economic inclusion across the board. Thank you. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the other side.